Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Heather. I am the owner and author behind townsandhouse.com, where I help you implement systems and strategies in order to overcome the chaos and cultivate simplicity in your home and homeschool. Today I am going to be sharing with you my May goal progress as well as what I have planned for June. May did not go as well as I had hoped. There were a few things out of my control, which I will share with you as we're going through everything. So my focus in May was fun, and I definitely feel like we had a lot of fun. We celebrated Emma's birthday. We had a barbecue with friends. We had a couple of get-togethers. My brother and sister-in-law came up for Mother's Day weekend, and the moms were all able to go out for brunch, and that was a fun thing. So I had a lot of fun in May. I know that that may seem like an odd choice of priority, but for me, I tend to put off like fun things because I always feel like I have something else to do, and I feel like if I don't get all of these things done, I'm not able to enjoy the fun stuff as much because I'm constantly thinking about all the things that I have to do. So I'm trying to break that habit. I want to be able to put fun first and not worry so much about all of the other things. I'm doing better. It's a process, you know, slow and steady. So first I'm going to go through the May monthly action items with you. The first thing on my May monthly action items was Emma's birthday, and we had her birthday party. It was a fun time. She had a couple of friends over. We made a cake. It was quite the experience. I don't do a lot of cakes, but Emma and I made a cake, decorated a cake. I think it turned out pretty good. It was gone that day, so I think everybody enjoyed it. The next thing on my list was to purchase homeschool materials for next year, as well as pull things from my shelves, and I did do that. I think that there are going to be a few more things that I'm going to purchase for homeschool this summer. I'm not entirely sure because I have not set up my new teacher planner yet, my Erin Condren teacher planner, which I'm hoping to do shortly. And that's where I list all of the resources that we're going to be using for the year, as well as fill in any spaces that we need to have filled in. I want to look for some elective courses. Both of my older two want to do Spanish, and we've done Duolingo in the past. But I have not found a good Spanish homeschool curriculum for them to use. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, you want like a native Spanish speaking teacher to do like a live class. We are not able to commit to a live class at the moment, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm still looking. There are some entrepreneurship things that we want to do that Emma and Jack are interested in. And then just some little, you know, art things, handcraft things. Not the main subject areas, but like the electives and more fun stuff. So I still do have to work on that. But as far as everything else, all of the main subject areas, yes, I have purchased all of that curriculum, and I've pulled all of the books that we have on our shelves. They're sitting on a table in the basement right now in our homeschool area because I need to film curriculum videos and then organize them on the shelves, bring up what we need for the homeschool cart. All that's June stuff, so I'll stop talking. Organize new homeschool materials. Yes, I did that. They're all sorted on the table in the basement by subject and age, so that is done. Pack up 2021 homeschool materials as well as assessments, and I did do that. I don't have it filled in all the way. I forgot to fill it in, but the assessments are done. I have the teacher letters, and I did pack up all of the old homeschool materials from 2020, 2021, this past weekend, Memorial Day weekend. So I'm happy that that is finished. The next thing on my list was to do my time inventory and adjust my time blocks. Now, I have been using time blocking for about 5 years now for managing my home, managing my homeschool, managing my business. I really need those dedicated times with like a start and end in order for me to utilize my time well and not think about all of the other things. It's hard for me to have business, home, and homeschool going constantly at the same time. So when I separate those into time blocks, it just makes my life easier. I did not do that this month, and part of the reason was because I had been waiting for the daily A5 planners that I had ordered on launch day from Erin Condren. I ordered them on May 3rd. I got my order mid-May, but it only contained part of the order. And then I just received the full order right at the end of the month, and I needed those to really work on I didn't really need them, but I wanted them for my time blocking. I'm planning on using a daily planner this year to help keep my time blocks as they need to be. So I did not do it because I did not have the daily planner. I'm pushing that ahead to June. It is something that I need to think about because I haven't adjusted my time blocks at all in the past 5 years. And that means like when Emma was 8 is when I started using the current time blocks that I have. It was 8, 6, and 2 were the ages of my kids. So now I need to adjust them. My kids stay up later, they sleep in more. I'm doing a lot more work with Lucy one-on-one because she's 6 now. So that still needs to be done. I have not done it. I'm going to do it in June, hopefully. The next thing was morning and evening routine, must-dos, and again, I did not do this. I was waiting for those daily planners to come in so that I could sit down and write out what exactly I want to do during my morning and evening routines. I've never had an evening routine. I've always been a morning person, and I wake up super early and then go through the day, and then like at 7 o'clock I'm just done, and I don't have any sort of evening wind down routine. It's just get the kids to bed and then I read and go to bed. So, but now that my kids stay up until 10 o'clock, you know, I probably should use a little bit more of a to-do list in the evenings. So I haven't done that either. The next thing on my list was garden planning and planting. I did do some garden planning. However, Memorial Day weekend is when I always do all of my planting for the summer, and it was raining and 45 degrees all Memorial Day weekend. So I didn't even go to the greenhouse to get seedlings. I don't know if we're going to plant a garden this year. Our garden boxes, the raised beds that we have in our garden area, need to be rebuilt. The price of lumber is really high right now, so that has not been a priority for us. I do have my earth boxes, which I have used for 16 years now, that I love, and I will most likely plant in those. At least I have 4. One has a crack in it, so I may not use it as an earth box. I may just use it as a regular pot. But I usually plant jalapenos, bell peppers, and then tomatoes, and then usually like a cucumber or zucchini plant. The reason I use the earth boxes is because I've had awful luck with lots of pests. So in the earth boxes, I don't have trouble with, cucumber beetles or squash bugs, or, well, last year we actually had a lot of tomato hornworms in my peppers. That was awful. I'll put an Instagram picture here from last year of one of the ones that I found. It was so gross. Anyways, so I'm hoping to go to the greenhouse this week. Today is June 1st when I'm recording this. We're getting a refrigerator today. So I probably will not be able to do it today because I don't know when they're coming. I might be able to go tomorrow. I don't know. Jack is going to be really disappointed if we do not plant. Last year we did potatoes. He wants to do pie pumpkins. I have to dig up my mom's rhubarb and replant it here. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time. So that I did half of it. I did some garden planning, but not any planting. I did not have my planning day in May. I thought I was going to get to it. I didn't. There were other things that were going on and I just couldn't set the time aside. In fact, right now I actually still have my May calendar up. I have a big wall calendar that I write everything down on, and I still have May up on my wall. I would like to think that I will update my calendars today. They need to be updated because we have a bunch of stuff going on this month. We'll see. The unfinished basement clean out, I did do a lot of that, but some of it I need some different storage containers. We have we use fake Christmas trees, so I have our Christmas trees down there, but they're in those bags instead of in a Rubbermaid plastic bin, so they can't be out in the garage because of mice. So I need to get some new bins for the Christmas trees because we have like 3 Christmas trees and then like a couple of little ones. So I would like those all out in the garage. That will free up all kinds of space in the basement. So I still need to do that. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but it is tidy. I can walk in there now and I can we store like bulk food and stuff in the basement. So I'm pleased with how much better it is looking. I'm not tripping over things at the moment. And then the last thing on my monthly action items was a garage clean out, and I did not do this at all. And I realized I should not have put this on my list because it's not a me thing. The garage is mostly Matt's domain and he has all of his tools and stuff out there. The generator, snowblower, lawnmower, all the things are out there, and it's not my thing. He needs to figure out how he wants things organized out there. So I should not have put it on my list. I did not do anything with it. My main thing is I want to sweep it out. But again, I need it cleared before I can sweep it out. So I didn't do that at all. So the next section is my weekly action items, and I did have 4 things on here. The first was homeschool planning, which I have done. My homeschool planning is, we finished our year at the beginning of April, and then I take some time to wrap up our year, and then the kids work on passion projects. And then I try and start figuring out summer rhythms, which I do have a video of what we're using for the summer because we are year-round homeschoolers. And just starting to think ahead to next year, thinking about when I want our start date to be, all of that kind of stuff, if I need to get new curriculum. So I just took a little time each week to work on that, and I did do that each week. I didn't want it to be like, oh, your entire homeschool year is planned out. That's not how I work. So I just do a little bit each time just to get my mind in the right place to make sure that I have all of the materials and I know where we're going. It's a lot of reading instructor's guides and choosing books and researching. So a little bit each week is what I worked on, and I did that. The next thing on my list was zone cleaning, which I did a good job of. I still have not come to a good cleaning routine. This is part of my life-giving home goal, and it is slow going. We got some new furniture last month for Lucy's room that had to be put together, and now I haven't it's like a bed with drawers in it, so I haven't quite figured out exactly how to organize those. Some of her clothes go in there, and then she has like some toys and stuff. I've been reorganizing the basement and reorganizing Emma's room, getting her some furniture that works. She has a sloped ceiling, so all of her furniture has to be really low to the ground. It is a slow process to get everything situated and see what I need. And has been my focus this year, trying to get things to work better for our family. So the zone cleaning was something I wanted to do weekly, and I did do that. I sort of shifted each area of the house to really declutter and reorganize and make lists of items that I need. I'm still not done. I'm still working on it, but I did do that weekly, so I am pleased with that. The next thing on my list is part of my Townsend House, Growing Townsend House, my website, and that was to work for an hour on the back end each week, and I did do that, and I was really pleased with all of the work that I did, and it was kind of like, it's a lot. I have a lot. If you watch my video from last month, my goals video for May, I talked a lot about all of the things that I need to do on the back end of Townsend House. It's slow and steady. It's going to take me a while, but having a dedicated hour to work on that each week has been helpful. I have not been doing it for an hour on a specific day. It's just kind of been working for an hour over the course of the week. If it's nice weather, I take my laptop outside while the kids are playing, and I sit on our deck and I just work while they're playing outside, and that has worked really well for me because I'm getting outside in the sun and still getting some work done. So that worked really well. So I did get that done every week. The last weekly action item was family fun, and we did do that. We, like I said, we had Emma's birthday party, and we had a barbecue and some friends over and saw the cousins. And so we were doing some fun things. We got out of the house more, got out to, do some shopping, which my kids really enjoy doing. Just some fun projects. We've been doing family walks in the evening when it's not raining. The kids have really enjoyed that. It's not, when I say family fun, I don't mean like a trip. I just mean making sure that each day we're really doing something intentional for fun. And I did have it as a weekly action item because I didn't know if we would really get to something every day. We did do something every week, a sort of a bigger culminating weekly activity. So that was good. I accomplished all of my weekly action items. I'm very pleased with that. Now my daily action items and habits. The first was Bible study. I did pretty good with this until this past week. Like the last week of the month, I kind of just dropped off. My allergies have been bad again, and that makes my mornings a struggle. And I have always used the morning time as my Bible time. And if I'm not feeling well, or if I'm waking up later, if I sleep in, I don't tend to find other time during the day, which is not a good thing. But I have ingrained this routine into my day so much that if I miss it, I don't replace it at a different time. So I did pretty good. I want to do better. Read every day, read fiction every day, which I did. I have read fiction every day since January 1st. I'm really pleased with it. I will continue to put it on my daily habits because I'm enjoying it. Right now though, I'm kind of at a place where I've run out of books that I want to read. I do have Kindle Unlimited. I do have Hoopla. I do have some books, fiction books in the basement, ARCs from publishers that I could read. But if you have book recommendations, I will take them. It's very easy for me to find nonfiction books or memoirs. Uh, that is the stuff that I normally gravitate towards. But this year, my goal has been reading fiction for story and enjoyment. Yeah, and because I read fast, I like longer books, and I really like series. I like fantasy. I like, um, you know, I really like romance because it does have a happily ever after, which I feel like that's just something that I need. I have read several books recently where they, you know, it just has a horrible ending, and I hate that. I feel like it's such a waste of a book if you go through all that character development and then the characters just turn out either horrible at the end or just not happy. Yeah. So if you have book recommendations, leave them below. I would love to hear some new ideas. I did walk almost every day unless it was raining. Some of the days I did use the treadmill when it was raining, but the weather has been so nice. I love to be outside in the sun when it's warm weather before the humidity starts in Maine. Once it's like 100% humidity here, even when it's cooler in the 70s, it's too much for me. I really need the perfect temperature, perfect humidity level, not too sunny. It is what it is. The next thing on my daily action items was vacuum every day. I talked about this in my May goals video. We have a Great Pyrenees. She is a big white ball of fur, and I need to vacuum every day, especially when she's blowing out her coat, which she has been doing. I did vacuum almost every day this month, and the floors look so much better, but they are still dirty because of mud being dragged in from outside. I really can't win with these floors. They're like a dark wood floor, and they are beautiful when they're clean, but they do not stay clean with 3 kids that play hard outside and a giant dog. So every time I wash them, the dog comes in with muddy footprints. I don't know why. I don't even know how she's getting in mud because I do not mop when it's raining outside, purely for that reason. But I think she just digs in the dirt and then it happens, and just got to deal with it. Maine Homeschool Network check-in, which I did do every day. I love my community. If you are a Maine homeschooler, I would love for you to join. If you are not a Maine homeschooler, I do have another much smaller group, the Townsend House community. It is not as active and it's not as large. I think we have almost 3,600 members in Maine Homeschool Network, and my Townsend House community is under 100. So a much smaller community. But if you're interested, I do have a link for that in the description box if you would like to join. Reading with the kids, I did that probably 2/3 of the days. There were some days that were just so nice. We spent all day outside, and that is fine with me. I try to read with Lucy every night, and we are working on some new read alouds for the summer, so I plan to roll that forward because I do want to stay in a good rhythm of reading daily with the kids. And then the last thing that I had on my daily habits was a 30-minute declutter cleaning each day, and I did do that. Again, I have been working on my life-giving home goal a lot, just trying to make things work better for our family and get into a good routine of cleaning and making sure that things are disposed of when they ought to be. We have a lot of paper in our house because my kids are always writing or drawing or doing something with paper, and keeping track of that, getting a handle on that can sometimes be a challenge. So this 30-minute declutter every day was really, really good for me. So now I'm going to talk about my plans for June. I have a lot of stuff on here. A lot of it is going to be homeschool related. I swear every month a lot is homeschool related, and that's just because it's constantly on my mind. The first thing on my list is set up my new planners. I have my life planner that I need to set up. My life planner holds like everything in it, books I want to read, appointments, pretty much everything that I need in a week is there. Also my A5 daily planner that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the Ring Agenda, and I will have a setup video hopefully at some point of that. So I need to set up all of my planners and just have that ready for July 1st because that's when all of my new planners start. The next thing on my list is the summer refresh. Now, if you use the Power Sheets Goal Planner, you will see the yearly goal planner. You will see that the summer refresh is in July. However, for me, our seasons, June through August is our summer. Those are the months that I think of as summer in Maine, and that's kind of how I run our summer rhythm for homeschool. So I will go through my goals, my summer refresh. I'm planning on doing it actually today, and then I will film a video for it. So I do want to go through the summer refresh and figure out what summer is going to look like for us before we really get full into homeschool again in September. We do start in August, but September is when we are at 5 days a week, all subjects, because we tend to do a slow start at the beginning of our school year. The next thing I have is set up my teacher planner. Now I know I said set up planners already. Setting up my teacher planner is a separate one because I still have a lot of homeschool prep that needs to be done. The next thing on my list is go through the first 6 to 8 weeks of homeschool materials. I have started to do this. I will bring up all of the materials that we will be using because we do, even though we have a homeschool room, we tend to do school upstairs at the table. I ask the kids if they want me to set up everything in the basement for them to do school, and they all really like to do school wherever. Sometimes it's up in their bedroom, sometimes it's on the couch, sometimes it's at the dining room table, but they like the freedom to be able to go wherever in the house to do their work, and that's fine with me as long as they're getting their work done. So I need to go through all of the materials, make sure I have supplies if I need them, make sure I'm familiar with the questions and the books, any background information that I need to know before we start them. The next thing on my list is to prep for VBS week. Now, all three of my kids and my husband participate in VBS. My husband teaches, my 3 kids attend. And that is a full week of time where I typically spend working on homeschool prep, any projects that I need to do around the house where having my kids out of the house, like going through toys and stuff, all of that stuff. Last year, there was no VBS. Obviously, nothing was going on in 2020. And that not having that week was a big deal for me. You wouldn't think that it would be because I do stay at home and you think I'd have plenty of time to work on things, but I didn't. And I felt like, well, it was a bunch of different things that happened with me being sick with shingles and the kids getting the chickenpox and then not having VBS, and just general craziness of 2020. So I did not feel prepared going into this homeschool year, this past homeschool year. I want to get back to feeling prepared and having a good plan in place. So I spend a lot of time during VBS week doing that, but I need to prep for it and have my list ahead of time. I make a huge brain dump of all of the things I want to do during VBS week. They don't always get done, but it is amazing how efficient I am in a 4-hour block of time with 0 interruptions. Honestly, it's a little life-changing for me. So, because I am always with my kids, there's very rarely a time that I am not with them, which is fine. I love my kids. I love my family. but having these big chunks of time with no interruptions, super helpful when I'm trying to get a lot of stuff done. The next thing on my list, the next two things are carryovers from May. The first is time inventory and time blocking. Part of that is going to be with setting up my planners. I do need to go through my time inventory. Time blocks are a great way to organize your life and to organize your days. But what happens is a lot of times people will put too much in a time block and they will not be able to finish it. And that can be really discouraging. So I always recommend doing a time inventory first, which is a full week of tracking your time. Everything that you do in a week, track it. This will help you to see where you need to make adjustments, where you need to add margin, if perhaps you need to say no to some things in order to get the most important things done during your time blocks. Otherwise, if you just fill it out like these are all of the things that I'm going to do within these time periods, it will be too much and you will get overwhelmed and you will not continue to use those time blocks the way that you hope to use them. So I need to do my time inventory and time blocking, and also my must-dos for my morning and evening routines. Again, this is an adjustment because my time blocks are going to be different. I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. every day anymore. My body would naturally wake up. I don't wake up to an alarm at all. I wake up when I wake up. I've trained my body that way. It took a long time, but now it works. So I need to do that. And I do need to figure out what I'm going to do in the evening. We've been doing like a walk in the evening with the kids and then playing and a little bit of reading. And then me journaling just in the pocket planner from Erin Condren, just a couple of sentences about what happened during the day. I want to continue doing that. The next thing is my planning day, which I am going to be doing over VBS week, and that will be getting everything set up for July. It's probably when I will be setting up my new life planner, and just getting things ready for homeschool. And I also do my goal planning that day. I like a planning day. It doesn't mean that that's all I do all day, although that would be fun too. But I set aside time to make sure that I get things done. I didn't do it in May. I should have, because now I feel like I'm behind, but that's okay. The next two things are part of my Townsend House, growing Townsend House goal. And the first is I would like to complete my new time inventory and time blocking workshop. This is a workshop that I did for several different homeschool conferences a few years ago that I really like to do. There haven't been many homeschool conferences lately, so I'm thinking about redoing this workshop and releasing it to the public. I don't know. Is that something that you would be interested in? If you are, let me know in the comments below. I think that it would be helpful as we're moving into the fall. We'll see. And then the next thing that I need to do is do a new welcome sequence for my Townsend House community subscribers. My email list, I've gotten a whole lot of new subscribers over the past year, and so I do want to update all of that information. I have so many free printables that I have done for my subscribers, and I need to reorganize those and send them out to new members so that they have access to all of that information. If you're not subscribed, I will have a link in the description box and you can certainly subscribe. I don't know if I'll have my new welcome sequence done when this goes live, but you are welcome to sign up. I do have some good freebies on the first welcome emails. The next thing is my weekly action items, and the first is again an hour of back-end work for Townsend House for my Growing Townsend House blog goal. It doesn't necessarily help with the growing of Townsend House, but it definitely helps my head staying in the game and not being so overwhelmed. I do want to continue the weekly practice of an hour of working on the back end and just continuing to weed out old stuff, reorganize recipes, make sure that the links are all correct. When I transferred things, some all have the same permalink, so you will have like 12 posts at townsendhouse.com/knitting-reading. So over many years of knitting and reading. I'm working on it. It's something that I will continue to do, and hopefully maybe by the end of the year it will all be finished. The next weekly action item I have is homeschool planning. Again, homeschool planning is something that I tend to do weekly anyways, but this again is just prep for the new homeschool year. And then once our new homeschool year starts, I do Sunday planning each week for regular life as well as homeschool. I plan weekly. I have overarching goals for the year. I have all of our resources and materials that I plan to use for the year, but I plan weekly so that I can take into account any other activities that are going on during the week. If my kids need extra help in a certain subject, if they're moving ahead faster than I expected in a subject, or if they need new books or whatever. So I continue to do Sunday planning. It's just good to have it on my tending list so that I'm reminded of it. It prompts me when I see it on my bookshelves in the office. Oh, I have to make sure that I'm doing my homeschool planning. And then the next is Sunday planning, and this is something that I haven't been doing. I tend to stop Sunday planning when our school year ends, and I don't usually do Sunday planning when we're like in a break during like we take between Thanksgiving and New Year's off, so I don't usually do Sunday planning then, but I want to get back into it just to get back in the habit of planning out our weeks as we're going through the summer and getting towards fall. The next thing on my weekly action items is zone cleaning. This is the same as last month. I want to continue doing the zone cleaning. It makes me feel good to know that things are getting done, and hopefully it will keep my house cleaner. And then the last thing on my weekly action items is family fun. We have so much stuff going on in June between VBS and my brother and his family coming to visit us for a couple of weeks, and the weather is nice, and just, you know, public school is getting out, so my kids will be able to have their friends over during the day, during the week, which will be fun. So concentrating on fun, a weekly fun thing is good for me. Otherwise, like I said in last month's video, I will spend all weekend just working and cleaning. That's not what anybody wants to do. So now I'm getting to the daily habits for June. The first thing I have is go for a walk. As long as the weather is nice, I want it to be outside. If it's not nice, I will most likely try to do it on the treadmill. But I really want it to be outside. The next thing is read fiction. These are very similar to the past months. Then the next thing is read with my kids. Then a 30-minute tidy, declutter, vacuum again, and then my main homeschool network check-in. There's one thing that I did not put on here that I'm hoping to do, which is I would like to do yoga every day this month. At the last 2 weeks of May, I started doing yoga with Adrian each night, and that has been really helpful. I love all of her videos. I've been doing the breath series that she did this year, the 30-day breath series. Often my kids will join because they really like to do yoga with me as well. It's not as relaxing when they do it, but when they join in, but it is still fun, and I still get good stretching in. So I am going to put that on my list as well because it has been helping me sleep a little bit better. I have less things running through my mind when I take that time for like quiet and meditation at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm going to put that on my list as well. So those are all of my tending list items for the month of June. My focus is going to be on planning and fun, and just sort of getting ready for the new academic year, which starts July 1st here, and just trying to stay on top of things. I do want to write down a few things to do this summer. I'm hoping that we can go away, although I've looked at like Airbnb and stuff, and there is not a lot of availability of anything, unfortunately. So I still need to think about what we want to do and put some things on the calendar for the summer, just so that they are on the calendar. We don't make plans on the weekends to do other things. We don't have very many nice weekends in Maine, unfortunately, for the summer. So I want to make use of the ones that we do have. But thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to hear what you are working on for June. Are you finishing up your homeschool year? Are you gearing up for a new homeschool year? Do homeschool year-round, or what is your focus for the month of June? I would love to hear that. So leave me a comment below and let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.